Disclaimer. Towards the end of August 2017, YouTube started enforcing stricter policies on its quote, advertiser friendly content. This means it is now harder for content creators to make money if they want to cover a variety of subjects including violence, death, or sexual themes. With that in mind, please enjoy this review of some borderline hentai! Yes, I'm reviewing Monster Musume. For those of you who don't know, it's an anime that uses half-human, half-animal hybrids for the use of sex appeal and fan service. But I don't care! I'm a man! I'll wank over whatever the goddamn hell I feel like! So the story, or rather lack thereof, is that the government have been hiding monsters under everyone's noses for an unexplained amount of time. Other crucial facts that weren't explained are where did they come from, how were they kept a secret, and most importantly, was Godzilla one of them? The government and monsters signed the Interspecies Exchange Bill, allowing the monsters to blend into human society. Sounds like it's implying the message of anti-racism and equality, doesn't it? In fact, the first episode ends on a very powerful anti-racist note. Unfortunately, that gets dropped when you discover that only half-human monsters, or demi-humans, were made legal. And if I may be so bold, when I say half-human, you can bet damn well straight they aren't talking about the legs! As part of the bill, monsters aren't allowed to harm humans or vice versa, which is a weird thing to state because I'm pretty sure common assault was already against the law, but the reason I say this is because the monsters can't lose their purity, which of course means they're not allowed to have sex either. Also, are we still living in a world where we think virgins are something pure and sacred? Or is that just a show trying to circle jerk its biggest demographic? I say the monsters have to stay pure, but the law only covers sex and violence. Things like kidnapping or public nudity seem to be perfectly fine. So the monsters integrating into society was 3 years ago, and apparently there hasn't been a whole lot of problems. Yes, because as history has served us well as an accurate template, the introduction of a new race into established society has never caused friction before. So I've already mentioned how the show is blatantly sexual. The entire aim of the series is to make you cream your pants so much you could serve chocolate eclairs to the entire US Navy. But I also said how the monsters aren't allowed to have sex, so the entire show is just a cock tease for the blank slate protagonist. So blank, in fact, that he doesn't even have eyes for 80% of the show. So the main character does... Oh, by the way, if you've noticed why I haven't mentioned his name, it's because I don't know what it is. I know he's a virgin who has never dated anyone, but other than that, I have no idea who this guy is. It might have been mentioned, but all the other characters seem to call him either darling or master, but that doesn't matter because I don't know a lot about the monster girls either. I watched 4 episodes before scripting this, and it had never been mentioned as to whether the other demi-humans had other friends, family, or cultural differences that one might find interesting. And I know someone watching this is going to get angry that I'm looking too hard into what is essentially a porn story, but here's my counter-argument. If they don't show me full penetration, I'm not giving it a pass. The only reason these monsters are in the plot at all was because the main guy was accidentally given the snake lady to look after as part of the social integration process, even though he hadn't signed up for it. I've had spam emails like that. Only the word snake was used in a very different context. Any other monster girls also appear out of nowhere, which is odd in itself because Darling over here seems to be the only person looking after any demi-humans. So why do you think the plot doesn't explain a whole lot? It's because the entire show is built around innuendo. Really? Painful innuendo. It's just a blank slate main character going about his weird day, so on the off chance you might want to imagine giving it doggy style to a snake girl. And as the story goes on, eventually more monsters end up appearing, all of which being fucking boring. There's the harpy who for some reason wants to have sex with the guy even though they establish all harpies are female, so how can she even know how sex works? And yes, I am acknowledging lesbians exist, harpies are a Greek legend after all. Then there's also the centaur lady who finds the main protagonist by literally running into him and believing it was fate before the boy shoots it down as some kind of manga cliche. Wait, what? A Monster Musume? I think considering everything you've shown us, you do not have the right to make fun of manga cliche. So yeah, Monster Musume is not something I enjoyed. I enjoyed masturbating while watching it, but it isn't a very good show. I felt it got a little bit predictable after a while, so much so that I'm willing to have a bet. I didn't have the willpower to watch the entire season, but in one episode, I remember the protagonist was forced into a situation where he had to marry one of the monster girls, so I'm betting if the solution isn't a gangbang, I'll swallow my pride and throw my laptop in the bin. I fucking hate this show!